We just witnessed a little bit of a flush of the market, but this could be the start of a much larger move to the downside. And we definitely have to talk about this. We have to address it because what we are about to witness could change the entire trajectory of the space in the short term. And I want to focus on that, right? It's the short term that we're focused on here, not the macro. We're not, zooming out and saying, all right, well, the cycle's done. No, we're not talking about something like that. We're just addressing what could happen in the short term. That way, we can possibly prepare for some opportunities in this market. But with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So, listen, the overall market cap down about 3.73%. Nothing too crazy there. We're sitting at about 3.47 trillion. Over the last couple of days, we haven't been doing much, which I will highlight here in a second. But we could see Bitcoin down about 3.65%, XRP down about 4.32%, even Ethereum down almost 5%. And that's just the beginning of it. We could see a nice flush across the board for most of this market. And again, this is just volatility. This is liquidations mixed with a volatile market. So, with that, right, let's take a look at Bitcoin, right? Because this is what Bitcoin looks like on the monthly. Big thing to focus on is maintaining 100K. We lose that, we most likely flush to about the mid to low 90K range. Full target on my end is about 92 to 93K. In the last 7 days, this is what Bitcoin looks like. We have that nice run up to 108K, followed by sideways price action, chop, 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 and now we're at 101K. XRP, the last 7 days, very similar, right? Nice little run up to like $3.30 plus cents, chop sideways. Now we're having that sell off. This is what the last 1 day looks like. This is what the 1 month looks like. Again, focusing on XRP, we lose this low previously from the 19th. And we see the mid $2 range being tested around like 260 to like 280 or so. That's what I'm really kind of looking at when it comes to XRP. But, with how high Bitcoin dominance actually is, and if Bitcoin does take that leap to like the low mid 90K range, well, that could severely hurt altcoins in a big way. So we have to make sure that we have some stable coins on the sidelines. Don't sell to try to buy back lower or anything like that, but just have some stable coins on the sidelines just in case we do see some of those targets being hit, because that will be our buy opportunity. And we don't get a lot of them at all in the middle of a bull run. But what was driving this price action? Well, number one, liquidations. We see here that Bitcoin dips to an intraday low of almost 102K, wiping out 128 million in long positions in just 4 hours. Markets show volatility, but open interest remains high. 371 million in total liquidations across crypto in 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance holds at about roughly 58%, ETH at 11.1%, and Fear and Greed Index stands at about 71. Right now, the Fear and Greed Index is sitting at about 55 on CMC. If we actually look at this, right, it's like the midline. It's been hovering around here for a little bit of time. Again, we chopped back here as well into November before the market heated up. So nothing too crazy there, but 371 million in total liquidations in the last 24 hours. This quickly grew to about 449 million. I haven't, looked into this too much just recently, but the last time that I checked, it was about roughly almost $450 million in total liquidations. This is what happens, right? And this is what's been happening every single time that we have like a major sell-off on Bitcoin. Every single time, what do we see? Liquidations. I call it the liquidation cascade because, it starts small and then it quickly grows and grows and grows, because the more liquidations, the more sell pressure that we see on the chart, which also gets people that are in spot trading, right? In spot trades, they start panic selling. So it's just a snowball effect of negative price action. And this also works both ways, right? You have a lot of people that are, waiting, for their shorts to hit, for example. And what ends up happening is we start moving to the upside, liquidating those shorts, pushing us even higher. So it works both ways. But liquidations definitely do cause cascading effects in the market. And that's exactly what we do see typically when it comes to Bitcoin having a major sell-off or a major push to the upside. But why was all of this happening? Well, number one, the trade war. So I'm sure that by now you guys probably already know what's been happening. We've been seeing these tariffs being pushed onto some areas around the world, specifically Colombia today. And this caused a little bit of a panic in the market. I mean, a lot of people were looking at this and saying, well, we're going to see a trade war happening now. And this starts to kind of get people a little bit impulsive. Again, is this something that I'm really kind of worried about or anything like that? Well, I do drink a lot of espresso. Maybe that's something that I would be worried about with Colombia. But, in all actuality, no, I don't think that this is anything to worry about or concern ourselves about. I think that this is, I mean, in the short term, it could scare the markets a bit. Price action could, be halted a bit, or we might even see a little bit of a deeper sell. But I don't think that this is going to change the cycle or anything like that. I think that this is just, a small hiccup in the middle of the road, if you will. So nothing too, concerning here. On top of this, right, let's go over here. So we saw the S&P 500 future sink 1%, and this is because of DeepSeek. So a lot of people probably have been hearing about DeepSeek. If you don't, it's okay. You don't need to worry about it too much. Basically what this is Chinese ChatGPT. That's basically what this is. And this was sparking worry over US tech itself. This was the full breakdown that I saw from Kabaisi letter that I, wanted to include in this video just to kind of give you guys an update on what this really is. So for an example, this is the futures. This was the NASDAQ, and we could see this going from like roughly, 22K all the way down to about roughly 21.6K. And we have here the decline is accelerating. NASDAQ 100 futures are now down 330 points since the market opened just hours ago as DeepSeek takes number one on the App Store. This is how you know DeepSeek has become a major threat to the US large cap tech. The stock market does not lie. Now, is this getting blown out of proportion? It might just be, right? We have to keep a close eye on what's going on here. But this is the full background. So this is a Chinese AI startup that appears to have spawned out of nowhere. It competes with ChatGPT. Like I said, it's basically ChatGPT, but Chinese edition, and costs less than about 10 million to develop. It was developed with chips that are considered to be far less advanced than those used by US AI companies. Users have run multiple benchmarks between DeepSeek and ChatGPT. In many categories, DeepSeek is actually outperforming ChatGPT. For a product that was developed in a matter of months, this is incredible. Is large cap tech in the US losing its dominance? So this is causing a lot of people to say, well, what's happening here? Should we be investing into something else? Should we be pulling our money and our capital out of US, large cap tech companies? If that's the case, the Mag 7, right, the big tech companies, all of a sudden, they will start to drop. Now, if the Mag 7 starts to drop, that significantly impacts stocks, which directly impacts, you guessed it, crypto. Now, is this something, like I said, I'm extremely concerned about? Not exactly. I don't think that it changes much. I just think that short term, we could see a little bit more pain. But we have to put this into perspective. OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT, has raised about 17.9 billion in capital over 10 rounds. The company was valued at 157 billion in October of 2024. OpenAI has 22 times more employees than DeepSeek. This is why markets have been blindsided. As seen below, DeepSeek is now a top performer in the AIME, Math 500, and GPQA benchmarks. ChatGPT still excels in coding benchmarks, but the gap is narrowing. The speed at which DeepSeek was developed has proven that US AI dominance is at risk. On top of this, DeepSeek has become the number one downloaded free app on the App Store, and users are reporting that the API experience is user-friendly, rate limits are not an issue, and it is likely to be integrated in agentic AI, or, the AI agents, for an example. But this is what NVIDIA said is the next big thing. So interesting. And yeah, I mean, the efficiency here is definitely interesting, but we have down here, needless to say, investors in large cap US tech are worried. The Mag 7 stocks are trading 2 standard deviations above levels seen in 2001 compared to global equities. We all know what happened back in 2001, the internet bubble. Much of the bull market over the last 2 years has been on the basis of AI hardware and software. On Friday, we posted the below alert for our premium members. We took shorts as the S&P 500 hit 61.22 and called for a sharp reversal. Those shorts are now up nearly 70 points. But regardless of that, right? The big thing to focus on is the Meg 7 within the stock opening. This is actually at 34% of the S&P 500. So if the Meg 7 does get hit, like I said, it's a cascading effect. So let's see what happens with the stock market open. It does open at about 9:30 a.m. EST for those that are interested in this. Also, Nvidia was down about 5% in terms of their futures. This is definitely interesting. That's about $190 billion in market cap wiped out. So, they are starting to overreact a little bit here. I wouldn't be too concerned in terms of the overall market, though. And again, what this is going to provide is a little bit more of a shakeout for those already kind of panicking, worried, maybe even bored. I put out a post on X, and regardless of if you want to take this as a shot or not, it just depends on who you are. Because I know that there's a lot of you watching the channel that supports the channel, and I thank you and I appreciate you every single day. But I made a post saying that making daily crypto content truly allows you to see the market sentiment. Since the election, I watched these comments go from vibrant, happy, and excited to now grim, depressive, and dark. Because again, I have been watching, I read the comments quite a bit, okay? And I've watched the switch up in real time. Retail is growing bored, tired, and depressed because we aren't seeing instant upside price action. I'm watching as comments pile up saying alt season is a scam. There will be no alt season. This is the worst bull run ever. Why isn't insert altcoin name moving? I can go on and on. It's actually quite ridiculous. Prior to the move, post-election, I was bombarded with comments calling me a scammer, a clickbaiter, a fraud, a clown, etc. This was because I was calling for altcoins to wake up in a big way, mostly around XRP, HBAR, XLM, etc. What I find funny is that almost all the people in the comments that called me X, Y, and Z were the same ones celebrating while altcoins pumped like crazy. Now they are the same ones commenting, voicing their depressive thoughts. This space, in its most simplest form, is a revolving cycle of emotions. Happy, sad, euphoric, depressed, repeat. The best thing to do in this space is zoom out and study the market cycles. Learn how the market moves and what makes the market move. 2025 will be the year this market makes many rich, but also makes many poor simply because of their impulsive decisions. Prepare accordingly. And yes, listen, this space is all about emotions. We knew that there was going to be a big move on XRP and most of the altcoin market because this is what we were dealing with, right? For over a full year since the bear market bottom, okay? It actually was like over a year, almost 2 years, but we just went sideways. And during this entire time, I watched as everyone complained and said negative things about XRP and was talking down on XRP. I was getting called names, which, again, I don't really get affected by. I'm just kind of bringing it up as a talking subject because, a lot of people get frustrated and they try to voice their opinions and they target anything. They project on anything and anyone that they can. And during that time, that gave us all of the ammunition that we needed in order to know that this thing was going to blow. And once it did, after elections, guess what we saw? Those same people were so excited, so happy. And now I'm seeing comments saying like, oh, XRP's back to $3. XRP's down to this level. XRP's down at that level. Guys, these were the same people that were saying XRP is still sitting at 50 cents, still sitting at 60 cents. They set it all the way up to $3 plus. I'm sure that they're probably going to be the same ones that say, oh, XRP's still at $4. But it's just so funny how the market changes with sentiment. That's why I always focus on market sentiment. Right now, there's a lot of people out there that are very negative. They're very grim, dark, depressive even in most of the comments. And this is providing us with an insight on what's going to happen. Even right now, as everyone's calling for no alt season, no, this bull run's done. There's not going to blah, 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 whatever. Guys, look at what just happened in the last 2 weeks. Crypto executive orders, a new SEC that's pro-crypto. We now have a crypto czar focusing on AI and crypto. I mean, think about how insane that is. Then we get, these possibilities of like no taxes on US based crypto projects. I mean, guys, then don't focus on the narrative around, oh, like things are looking pretty rough for the economy, or oh, this is the don't get me wrong, those things are good to focus on and have them as data points. But the big thing to focus on here is what's going on behind that, because you got to focus on where all the noise is coming from. Right now, all the noise is around these concerns with the market. The market's selling off. We're having a red day. It could get a little worse before things get better. But I want you guys to understand, look at the fundamentals. Look at everything that has happened in the last like 2-3 weeks around crypto. We're going much higher, in my opinion. I don't think that any of this is, a thing to be concerned about. Let's watch, wait, and see what happens. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely have a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.